take my mind.
Welcome back to another episode of Change Tomorrow. Today we have a special guest, Monique.
Hey,
Miss
y'all.
Rubaine,
Hey,
Rubaine,
Monique.
Ruby, what's up, baby?
Welcome,
going
Monique.
on?
We've been trying to get you for the longest. You finally here.
Looking
I've been running.
fabulous.
I've been
Yes.
running.
Been running, dodging, and hiding.
Tucking.
Yeah, man, you playing football.
I know, right?
Yes, Lord. Miss Monique.
But he got me here.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I told you I was going to stop till I got you here.
Well,
So-
let's jump into it.
Let's go right into it. So you're a real estate agent, right?
I am a real estate professional.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I
You are a
am.
professional. You got to put the professional.
Yes.
What were you before a real estate agent?
So
What was your career?
I was in the healthcare field.
Okay.
I was a radiation therapist.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't know what that is, I dealt with a lot of cancer patients. I did that for what? 11 and a half years
Oh, wow.
prior to jumping into real estate full time.
Mm.
Okay.
Dealt with pediatrics, from
Okay.
pediatrics to geriatrics. So
Ooh,
yeah,
that's definitely a lot.
Emotion, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it
So-
took a physical toll and emotional
So what
toll.
made you? So what made you leave that industry to
That
jump
secure
into?
job,
Yeah. What made you like?
steady income
Yeah,
every
yeah.
2 weeks,
Right.
health
You took a
insurance.
risk. You're taking a risk.
401k benefits.
Right.
Why I left all of that.
Right.
Right.
Stability.
Okay.
Right. Why I left all that. So to be quite honest, I honestly say it was God led because my sister, my older sister, she's been in real estate since 2000. I want to say it was about 2004.
Okay.
Which was the year that I graduated from high school, and she's always tried to get me into it from then. And I used to always say like, girl, I ain't trying to. I would help her, like you
Yeah.
know, go on her showings and stuff like that. But I was like, girl, I ain't trying to help nobody buy no house. Like,
Right.
I had absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. And it wasn't until I had my son in 2013, and it really wasn't until about 2017. Well, just prior to 20, I would say about 2016, but it wasn't until 2017 that, you know, just continuing to pray and just like, God, like I can't do this anymore. Like, what else can I do to, you know, utilize my passion? I have a gift of helping people.
Okay.
Like that's where I'm fulfilled. Just being able to provide that help and just seeing people change, right? And it was about I want to say it was like June 2017. I remember it was in the summer, and it honestly just fell on me. And I remember calling my sister and telling her I'm getting into real estate. And I went and got the book. I registered for the class, so you can do. And I don't know if I'm kind of jumping ahead.
No,
but,
go ahead.
I remember like you have an option of doing either a week
Yep.
straight, right? Or I don't even remember what the other option was because I was like, nah,
You
I'm
can do
just gonna
online a week straight, or there's like a 3-day course that's like a crash
that.
course. Yeah.
But it's So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a week off from work, and I'm gonna go and do the class. And because the other option was an extended period, it would just be a lot longer, and I just wanted to get it done. And I think that class wasn't until about, I want to say it was like October-ish.
Okay.
But I remember when it fell on me that summer, I actually went and got the real estate book. And when I told her about it, like I literally just dove into the material before taking the class. And I'm not a studious person.
Okay.
Like I could tell you high school C's. I'm not a studious person. I don't
Right.
like reading. And when I realized like, dang, I started getting into the book and I was just like really intrigued,
right.
and I just couldn't stop reading.
Right.
And
They're like, oh, this might be something.
this is, yeah. And it
This
was
your
from,
passion.
I guess you can say it was from that point
Right.
that I just kind of realized like, this is, I'm like very interested in this.
Right.
Oh, I love that.
You know? So it was from that point that just really, you know, propelled me to get into real estate.
Okay.
I have a very important question.
Go for it.
And this question is going to be for so many people that I know that try to get into real estate, that want to get into real estate. Because I get asked this question a lot, so I have to ask you. So when you took the exam, were you very nervous? Like you took your course, you did the course, you did the whole shebang, and you was like, okay, this is not too bad. And usually everyone who takes the course,
I wouldn't say I took the course and it was not too bad, because remember, you still gotta take you take
Gotta finish the
class,
exam.
you gotta take the class exam,
Yeah.
and then you can move on to the state exam.
right?
Okay.
So how are you feeling about both of those?
So the class exam, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have
Right.
been.
You realize like, oh, I got more knowledge on this than I thought I did.
Right.
Right.
Now the state exam, I feel like I thoroughly prepared myself for it, but the math aspect of it, I was
Always
nervous.
Okay.
But I remember before I left for the exam, my mom, she went and got that holy water.
She put them hands on you.
She went and got that holy water. I remember I was sitting in my car and she sprinkled that holy water on me. And I gotta say, it's probably that holy water that helped me pass that exam, because it was, because you can't take no
nerve-wracking.
notes. Then
Yes.
you gotta remember these different formulas.
Yep.
So I passed on the first try.
Oh, congrats.
By the grace of God. Thank you.
Congratulations.
But yes, it can be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So
Because
how-
most
Can be
people ask that
nerve-
question.
How'd you find the
Yeah.
strength? How'd you find the strength and the will to actually follow your dream and say, you know what? Even though I have
Yes.
this secured position at this company, this job, this is something God has put into my heart and my spirit
Right.
to do, and I'm gonna follow it.
And to
through it.
keep pushing
Mhm.
through,
From-
even through
But
the
even
challenge.
but before the challenges ever came, you had to do that.
I had to make that
Something
decision.
that most people couldn't do, which is walk away. Like,
Which
where'd
wasn't
you find the
easy.
strength to do that?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. I honestly battled with it from the first thought that I had about leaving real estate full time in 2019 was in March of 2019. And I literally battled with it. And what I will say is I started during that period from March to September, which is when I actually left left the healthcare full time. I was having issues.
That kind of did that help you with your decision making?
Eventually, it did.
Issues at the job, you mean, or
Yes. So, I'm a pretty cool person.
Okay.
I get along with people for the most part.
Right.
I'm not a confrontational person. So when I started realizing or feeling that shift, or that
in the workplace.
that dynamic shift in the workplace,
Yeah.
I was like, oh Lord, what is going on? What is
That was
going
God
on?
telling you it's time to move.
Yeah, and I remember I had to have a conversation because it was really tough. Like I was battling really bad, and I actually only one person really knows about this, because I remember going to the bathroom at work because I literally broke down.
Oh my goodness.
It was that difficult of a
Right.
time.
Right.
And I remember calling him. My brother-in-law, he literally had to pray with me, because I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. And I was still trying to push through, trying to make that decision. God,
I gotta stay
I got
here.
a son.
This is my this is my
I'm
career.
I have a son.
Yeah.
This is stability. Going into real estate, that's you
Iffy.
make the effort that you put in,
Yeah,
essentially, right? Because it's
exactly.
just commission-based business.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for your own retirement. You're
Yeah.
responsible for your own insurance.
So you gotta
So
be
that's-
responsible. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was a hard decision, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
Yeah.
Again, I had that thought from March, and just going through that challenge at work, the stress, it was a lot of stress. And I just finally, I remember I had to take a leave because, I was so stressed to the point where I actually broke out. And
Oh my goodness.
I literally had to get with HR to really just take a leave of absence.
Yeah.
I did that for about 2 months and went back for a little bit, and then finally made that decision. I remember typing up my letter of resignation in September and gave it to my boss, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah. This
I'm
is
done.
too much.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
would have
it
to
was
say-
it was tough.
I would have to say I applaud you for that.
Yes,
Monique,
I was gonna say
because
that.
you had that
Takes
burning
guts.
desire. Yeah, yeah. You had that burning desire, and you went after. You went after
Yeah.
what you desired. Because
not many people are able to
to
Have
walk
that
away.
faith to
Yeah.
be able
Right.
to.
not even a walk of
Right.
faith, but just be able to follow a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
A goal that they want to achieve. Because I know real estate means a lot to you. I know it's more than just a money thing for you. It's about
Yeah.
helping our people in the community to actually get a piece of the pie. That's
Because
what
we are lagging
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
big time. We're lagging big time. And like as you know, the percentage of home ownership, right. is majority Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so behind to the point that we're even falling behind the Hispanic Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Just even being pushed out of our communities.
Yep.
You know, you have Liberty City that's being gentrified, that's being changed.
The
Look at Miami
Haiti,
Gardens, you know.
Yep.
Miami Gardens is
It's
barely
no
becoming
longer-
affordable anymore. I purchased my home in 20. So another reason why I'm so passionate about it as well is because my parents, and I tell this story sometimes too, like my parents bought their first home, right? We came from low income apartments.
Okay.
So that was back in like 95 where you had to have that 20% down
Right.
payment that some people still feel
Right.
is needed.
Right.
And seeing them be able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
like have the credit, saving
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
to be able to
And it was hard back then.
exactly, you know.
It's hard.
I don't think they even knew about down payment assistance programs.
Probably
which-
not.
They probably didn't even have that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they literally saved up their
Oh
own
my
their own
goodness.
down payment, their own closing costs with no assistance, right? So just seeing that, like it just gives me that burning
Motivation.
desire and motivation to really educate our community,
Yeah.
even though it is extremely hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, just watching them do that and now being in a position to be able to help guide our community,
Right.
you know, having those consultations even if they're not ready and just really
Yeah.
helping to put them in position.
Give them the knowledge that they need, so when they are ready, they know the tools.
Yeah.
I
So
love
let,
that.
let me ask you this, Momo. So where are you from, and what is your nationality?
Jamaican.
Oh, Jamaican
Yeah.
national. Okay.
Jamaican
You were
background.
born in Jamaica, or you were born
I
here in the
was
States?
born here, but
Oh,
I
okay.
identify as a Jamaican.
Got it. Okay. You're not a Yankee.
Like, no, ma'am.
You're
No,
not a
ma'am.
Yankee.
So the motivation to become an agent, obviously you say it comes from your sister with Crystal, right? Because she was an agent, but that wasn't really what motivated
That was
you.
not what motivated
But
me.
I'm saying, so
Right.
that motivation to really throw yourself in that water and really say, I'm going full throttle with it. Where did that motivation come from? Aside from, obviously you want to help the community, but what gave you that initial boost or that courage to say, I'm going for it?
I would say it's probably that stress at work, huh?
Girl,
But
yes.
I think
But
I would say that stress at work was more like God's way
that
of
was really
kicking
him.
you
That
out
was
the
him
Go.
kicking you
telling
out
me
the
like,
door.
Yeah.
listen, girl, you've
It's
been sitting
okay.
on this
You're
for
not
months.
supposed
You
to
don't
do this.
just
What is the motivation? I'm saying like initial.
I would have to say my son.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
okay.
again, remember I mentioned that, I was trying to figure out what else I can do to fulfill my gift and my passion of helping people. So I guess the answer to your question will be not only my son, but just being in the healthcare field for so long and dealing with pediatrics, it was taking an emotional toll on me.
Yeah.
And it really got to the point where I really realized, okay, I need a change was when I started looking at my patients as a number, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
it got to the point where I really felt like I was working in a factory.
oh my
Right.
goodness.
Because you care about these people.
Yeah, and I'm
first,
seeing
you're saying
Right,
that.
right,
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm
Right.
seeing these patients, majority of our patients, I'm seeing them 5 days a week because
Yeah.
majority of them were coming in for 5 days a week, some ranging from 4 to 8 weeks long.
Oh my goodness.
So you start to build a relationship, not just with them, but
Yeah.
with their family as
Families.
well.
Yeah.
Right.
And, building that relationship with them, and then sometimes they end up passing away.
Right.
So it was really taking a toll on me, and I'm like, okay, I'm I'm looking at these people as numbers.
Because I
and
can't
I'm
get
like,
too close to you.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, we done with this patient next.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what was
that's
going
not really
in my mind, you
Right.
know?
Oh my goodness.
As I was treating them, and I was like, okay, this just is not going to work. I'm losing that emotion.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And that's when I really realized, okay, I need something different. And then I
Yeah.
have my child, and I need something that is going to allow me to be able to spend more time with him, as well. Which
Right.
Good
they
estate,
say, you know, you can make your own schedule, but they don't tell you how much you're gonna work.
Yeah.
So especially when it's something that you really love. So
Yeah.
sometimes he be like, "Mommy, I want you to go back to the hospital." I'm like,
So if let's say you were to run into somebody, they wanted to you to kind of like give them a playbook or a play-by-play on how to do what you did, right? To find the strength and the courage to actually go after what you felt God put in your heart to do. What kind of words would you give them? Inspirational words.
so you're saying you're asking to give them that encouragement to leave their
To
job,
follow-
or to just like follow their
to follow their
dream?
dreams, and it may mean that they have to walk away from their job.
I mean, the only word of encouragement I can really give them is if you really have that burning desire and that dream to achieve it, and you really feel like it's something that's God led, because to be quite honest, there's been so many days that I am literally just like, man, bump this.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm just like, you know what? I know this is
What I'm
what
supposed
God
to
told
do.
me to do. So if it's something that you really have a burning desire to do, you know, despite whatever challenges you may come across, just continue to push forth.
Yeah.
Push forth each and every day. It's not going to be easy, but you just have to, and surround yourself also amongst others who you see yourself wanting to be at,
Yeah.
because
Right.
that will also help you as well.
Motivation.
To stay I wouldn't even say motivated. To be quite honest, I don't like to use the word motivated, because that motivation can wear off.
Yeah.
But just someone that can inspire you, because when you see someone where you want to be, and especially when you hear their story of where they came from, that just gives you the hope that, you know, yeah, it's hard now, it's challenging now, but just keep pushing through,
Right.
you know, those challenges, and you will be there one day too.
So, being that you've been in real estate for a while, we've seen the market kind of take all types of twists and turns. So, what is your thought on the market at this current time? And you know, for those of us that, you know, we want to kind of encourage our people to purchase and be prepared to purchase. So, what is your thought?
That's the key. Prepared. That is major what you said, right? That's the most important thing, to be quite honest, because we keep hearing, oh, the market's gonna crash.
Yeah, they've been saying that for like 2-3 years.
They've been saying that, girl, since I got
Longer
into
than
real
that?
estate. Since I got into real estate, they've been saying the market's gonna crash, and it's like,
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a different type
Yeah.
of market than back in 2008, so you
Yeah.
can't really compare it to that. There is so much red tape that's in place now with a lot of these banks. You know, it's not just the stated income. There's more red tape that you really have to go through, and not only that, there's so much equity in, you know, home values, like
Yeah.
in people's homes.
Yeah.
So even though we are going to see an influx of foreclosures coming on the market,
Right.
which is a result of you know, the forbearance period
Yeah.
during the pandemic,
Yeah.
I would say if you are prepared, if you are ready
Yeah.
to purchase, then purchase.
Right.
Okay.
I don't recommend, and I don't tell my clients to wait, because if you're ready right now, then that is the time for you to purchase. It may
Yep.
not always be a good time to sell, but there's always the right time to purchase. Right? And what people don't realize is when you're waiting for the interest rates to drop, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have more buyers coming into the market
Yep.
because
And now
of
you're
the interest
fighting
rates.
for
Right. So now you're back into that bidding war,
Yep.
which is going to happen, which in turn is what increases home values, which
Yep.
is what increases the price. So it's like, where do you want to be? Like, you know, you can change your interest rate. And this is what I tell my clients. You can change your interest rates, but you can't change the home price. So if you wait till I don't know, let's say January of, the first quarter of next year of 2025, we're in 2024.
25.
In the first quarter of 2025, like the values are going to be a lot higher.
Yep. So even if the interest rate is lower, you're paying so much more.
You're still
for the home,
and you're getting less, right? Yeah. So, I encourage you to, start if you feel like you're wanting to purchase and you feel like you're not ready, I would recommend you get it with the right professional to be able, and when I say right professional, I mean the right realtor, right? The right mortgage broker to be able to get you into position so that you're not trying to scramble and getting yourself ready then. And that's what I do with my clients now, actually.
So let me ask you this question, Monique. So what are the requirements for the audience that are watching that is, may be on a fence of purchasing a home?
I want to purchase, but I don't know what I got to do.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the key word you said was prepared.
Yeah,
so
prepared.
what does a prepared?
You need to call me.
What does a prepared buyer look like?
Yeah, like what's the requirements?
So ideally you can really purchase, and I'm not a disclaimer, I'm not a mortgage lender. Okay. So I don't talk about interest rates.
It's a very important disclaimer.
This is pretty much general information, but you can purchase really with as low as a 580 credit score. Do I recommend it? No. We have our clients, we may have clients who have a 580 credit score, but we let them know what they need to do to increase their credit score to at least above a 620 or a 640. Because obviously the higher your credit score, the better your interest rate. The better your interest rate, the better your monthly payments, right?
Right.
So to be prepared, you need to really sit with a professional, have them look at your credit report, see what's on your credit, because there are certain things that you may not necessarily need to pay off. There may be certain debt that you don't need to pay off, because what happens is sometimes I end up having clients who's paying off all this debt, and then they utilize the money that they had for their down payment, but that was something that they need not to address, right? Yeah. So you have your interest, you have your credit score, 580. You also want to make sure you know how much down payment you need, right? Depending on your credit score, you can purchase with as little as 3% down, right? With conventional, but your credit score has to be at a certain criteria in order to be able to do so, as well as a debt to income ratio. You have FHA loans where you can do 3.5% down payment, right? So you have your credit score, you have your down payment. You need to know how much closing costs. And that's what a lot of buyers may not realize. They see on social media where, you can purchase with as little as $7,000, but not really accounting for, what are my closing costs? And I like to average closing costs. I like to overcalculate. So when I'm working with my clients, I typically calculate about 2.5% of the purchase price of what you're going to need. So you have your down payment and your closing costs. So just knowing how much money you need out of pocket as well. And the best way that you're going to know that is by speaking with the professional, the mortgage professional. Right. Because all of that is dependent on the home price. Yeah. So it's not a set amount.
Which is why they shouldn't wait for these interest rates to drop.
Let me ask this question, Monique. So what are some of the programs that people could get into to buy affordable homes? Like, because I know there's programs out there.
There are. So last year I did quite a few of the 8-hour home buyers certification workshop, right? Where you can access down payment assistance through Broward County Housing, but you also have Miami-Dade County where they have $35,000 in assistance. They also have another program where you can get up to $100,000 in assistance. It depends on the income. So there's different factors that they look into. But there are programs out there that can assist home buyers in purchasing. You also have the Hometown Heroes program, which they had the last 2 years, which is actually going to be coming back out in June. I believe don't quote me on it. I want to say it's July, July 1st, I believe, but they're replenishing that with $100 million.
Oh, see?
Oh, wow.
So, and that's going to be expected to run out again, probably within the first 2 months of it coming out. Of course. So
but if we prepare.
For, like, what?
So that
officers?
So the Hometown Heroes, when it first came out, it was for the frontline workers, teachers, doctors, nurses, firefighters, nurses. And when they renewed it the following year, they opened it up to any full-time worker. So now it's open as long as you have a brick and mortar in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Even as an entrepreneur, you can qualify for the program as well.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
First time hearing about this program. Never heard of it.
Really?
Never heard of it.
Hometown Heroes. Yep.
Yeah, it's first time.
Yep.
It's really
Okay.
good.
So that means
Okay.
you haven't been on her social media because she plays her everywhere.
Yeah, so there's just it's so many programs out there that assist home buyers with being able to purchase a home. You know, it's just you have to tap in,
Right.
and of course there's different factors that determines your qualification,
Right.
but you don't know until you actually reach out and ask and find out.
No, right. But let me ask you this too, Moni. But what about the insurance crisis that's taking place in Florida right now? Because a lot of people lost their insurance. I don't know if you guys are familiar
yeah.
with this. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because I hear people talk about it all the time.
And if they
like,
didn't lose it.
Right.
It definitely
Right.
increased their monthly payment.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a challenge. I mean, I'm not an insurance professional, so
Right,
I
right.
can't really talk too much on that.
Right.
I stay in my lane. I know a little bit about a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I
Okay.
definitely stay in my lane. But yeah, that has definitely been an issue, especially amongst the condo community.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens now, and that's why even like with my first time home buyers that I work with, you know, I let them know, hey, get into a condo, right?
Yeah.
But the challenge that we're coming across now with the condo community and it still being trying to be affordable for first time home buyers to be able to qualify is because of the insurance crisis that we're currently facing, a lot of condo associations are changing or they're removing like the wind mitigation, which disqualifies them because what happens is in the same way that the buyer has to get approved through the association, the lender is also having to approve the association as well. So if
Okay.
they don't meet certain requirements, such
can't.
as
can't
having
fund
to have wind mitigation or certain, if they're above, I believe it's like 5% of the premium, then that becomes an issue
Okay.
with being able to qualify. So, you know, there are certain communities that are not what we call like Fannie Mae approved.
Okay.
That causes, you know, some stumbling blocks. So
Yeah.
it's an issue. So yeah.
So if I'm a buyer looking for help, and I'm looking for a bomb agent that knows her things up and down, and knows everything that needs to be. Where can I find you on social media? Your phone number? How do I track you down? If I'm
We want
looking for
Monique.
you.
How we find
How do I
Monique?
find Monique?
So you can reach me on Facebook, Monique Rubaine,
Okay.
and on Instagram, Monique Rubaine _realtor. And you can also call me, text me at 305-331-6924, or you can send me an email
So if anybody out there,
at Monique, MONIQUE, at trusteliteinc.com.
so if anybody out there is looking for a bomb agent, somebody that know their stuff, who's gonna really go to bat for you and
Yeah.
really put you in position,
Yeah.
this is your girl right here to holler at, Monique, a.k.a. Miss Momo.
Momo.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, as always, Monique, we appreciate you, right? We
Absolutely.
appreciate it. We're
We
thankful
thank
for
you for all
coming
the
through.
knowledge you brought.
Yes, you
Thank you
kicked
guys
some
for having
serious
me.
game.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
hope
you,
those
Monique.
people that are out there that are feeling inspired or may have a dream or a goal, something you want to do that's different from what you're currently doing, and you're looking for the inspiration, look no further than Miss Momo, and you can hit her directly through Instagram, and she'll help you and guide you, give you some courage to do the same, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and especially when it comes to real estate too. I actually have a buyer, a past client of mine. Oh, and that was the ending, huh?
It's
No,
okay,
no,
but
go
come
ahead.
on.
So I have a past client that I helped purchase in 2020, and her daughter. I didn't even know she came to more than one of my workshops, but she actually reached out to me. She came to one of my workshops last year,
Oh my
and she reached out to
goodness.
me again this year, and she was like, you know, I've been really wanting to get into real estate. I loved how you, you know, conducted yourself. I went to a couple of your workshops, you know, and I'm trying to get into real estate. I tried to do it a couple of years ago, and then I stopped. So, you know, just having this long conversation with her, I really encouraged her, like, do it, you
Right.
know? And I just texted her actually as recently as yesterday because I told her, all right, now that you done told me, girl, that you about to get into
Right.
real estate, or
Right.
that's your goal, I'm going to hold you to it.
Right.
Mentorship.
So, you know, I
Yes.
text her yesterday to even follow up with her and just making sure that she's still
And that's
pushing
good.
through and don't stop. Just keep going.
You gotta
So,
keep going. If
gotta
you-
keep going.
If it's in your heart and your spirit, you gotta go through with it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
God's will, not yours.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming through,
Absolutely.
Momo.
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, it's all love, man.
We
We
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you. And as always, man, we hope you guys like Miss Momo, right? She's an inspiration to us all. Follow your dreams and your goals, and they'll come to fruition. And as always, make sure you guys comment. You guys know where to find her on all platforms, right? She even gave out her number. So please like, subscribe, right?
Hit the like button.
Ding! Right? And we, as always, we love y'all. We appreciate you guys, man. Peace and blessings. Love.
Peace.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.